Greetings, everybody. So here's the last episode of the train hop from Portland. My partner on this ride headed home from Green River, and so I'm back on my own. And it's funny, I'm used to traveling alone, but yet when suddenly you're on your own after having someone with you, it's kind of lonely there for just a little bit. But anyway, I did enjoy having someone along this time. But things didn't exactly go how I wanted towards the end of this thing, and I want to thank everybody, all of you subscribers, and in particular channel members. Your help is what gives me options on the road, and I appreciate it greatly. If the wheels come off of a train hop, I have the ability to get on a bus or a train, or even if I had to, a plane, and go home, and that's a luxury that I fully understand few people have that are riding trains. So I make no bones about it. I am very, very fortunate to have all of your support and to be in a position in life where I can kind of do what the hell I want for the most part. So I'm very fortunate, and I do not take that for granted. Anyway, here we go. Last episode of this train hop. Let's see how things go. Yeah, just sitting there along the Green River on a beautiful but brisk, chilly, but still nice day in Green River. Kind of letting some time slip away here, and then I will catch out. I'm going to take the first Z. I'm anxious to get home. I'm going to enjoy the day while I can and throw a line back in.
All right, Jordan.
Caught a nice...
You're all lined out of 20 rail.
Caught a nice rainbow yesterday. But didn't have my GoPro with me, and it was crazy windy. But anyway, hopefully I can yank one or two more out of here before I get out of town. Green River, Wyoming. Headed home.
Some
exhaust. I'm guessing we're powering up for full speed here.
duck or not.
which is par for the course. But the thing that's got me concerned is I'm not sure what train I'm on. I've never seen this train that's half intermodal and then the last half of the train or third of it is junk. So I'm pretty sure this thing's going to get broken up in North Platte. So it's got me concerned. I don't want to sit in North Platte for hours. I'm debating whether I should get off in Cheyenne and wait for a train that I have more confidence in as to which one it is. Or do I just take my chances and go with the flow? I kind of promised Terry that I'd be home shortly. So I don't know. I got a lot to think about. So I had to switch hats, go to a stocking cap to try and stay a little warmer. I'm going to have to get in my bivvy and sleeping bag here shortly. But, you know, Wyoming, you can't count on the weather here until probably mid-June to be halfway nice. Especially going over Sherman Hill, 8,000 feet or so. But I'm headed in the right direction now anyway, so we'll see. Big boy here. I don't know if they actually use water out of that tower or not. But it's Wam Center. We are stopped on double track main line in the middle of Wyoming, and what I think is going on there is we're stopping for fuel at Rawlins, so I'm going to guess that's Rawlins. I haven't looked on the map or anything. I-80's right there. So I'm going to guess that we're stopped because there's other trains getting fuel. But I don't know. I've never had so many trains stopping on a train hop, you know, on a main line like I've had on this train hop. It has been crazy. But, you know, you gotta take it how it comes, I guess. I'm not sure what train I'm on. Don't know why we're stopped. A lot of unknowns. A lot of unknowns. The things I do know, it's friggin' freezing. Man, Wyoming. Whew. It's brutal at times. And I'm sure compared to winter, this is nothing, but I've got long underwear on, my coveralls, I'm in my sleeping bag, and I'm still shivering at times. A little suffering is part of the deal. Yeah, it turns out we are at Rawlins. So we're just waiting to get fuel, I guess. Hopefully it's quick.
There we go, now we got it right. Look at me. Yeah, I better hurry up. I'm bailing off this train, I think. Or at least I'm gonna walk down it for a ways. See about a better ride. Well, dang it. I didn't get off quick enough. Still had stuff to pack up and I wasn't in a big enough hurry, I guess. So I'm riding on into North Platte, into Bailey Yard, I think. Unless we stop again. I might get lucky. We'll see. Big old feedlot over there. Smell the money in the air there. I think they used to call Nebraska the beef state. That's interesting. I don't know if the railroad's time zones go with the rest of us or not. But we are in Central Time Zone officially. Come through on tracks over there closer to those coal cars. It's usually been at night. Down as best as I can. I don't have a lot of room to get out. Yeah, I always go under that bridge over there. We're headed to what they call the van yard. think it's where they do some intermodal work. Anyway, we're gonna drop off that back part of the train. I have no idea how long this is gonna take or when we'll continue on, when the crew change will happen. A lot of unknown here. I'm guessing that's an arrival yard right there, because we aren't even to the hump yet. It's the Golden Spike Tower. Tourists come. Kind of cool. You can see the yard. It's about midway, I think. Well, I've been chopped off from the power. Now the question is, are they just dropping off part of the train in front of me and then going to hook back up? Or am I done? Because I can't lay here in the sun all day waiting to leave. I think I could make it to that fence and just walk along it and get out of here. But I'm gonna see what their last move is here. I think they're moving other cars and then they're gonna hook back up. We'll know shortly. It still doesn't mean I'll be leaving anytime soon, but... Coming right down by us. Those ocean containers. Dropping at least some of them off here. The engine's going to come right by me. Let's hope it doesn't stop right next to me. Man, I see I got way too much sun. I didn't even think I was really getting a lot, but yeah, oh well. I switched rides. I was gonna walk out of here, but it wasn't gonna do me a lot of good. I was thinking I'd maybe just catch the bus and Amtrak home from Lincoln or Omaha or something. I'm pretty anxious to be getting home, but I'm pretty confident the string of cars that I'm on is going to make it to Chicago. And so now that I moved and I'm in the shade, it's going to be in the sun again here shortly, but I can move again to the other side if I need to later. It's really comfortable, but I had to ditch my coveralls. I had a shirt on. Over this, I had my sweatshirt on, and man, I was roasting. So anyway, I moved back down, I don't know, half a dozen cars or so. And fortunately, we've pulled into what they call the van yard, which is on the east end of the yard. So it's not as much activity going on as what's happening in the rest down by the humps and whatnot. So hopefully this works out. Fingers crossed. A lot of backing up and going forward. I'm hoping we're ready to roll, but we seem to be doing a lot of work. Well, this is the reality of my train hopping sometimes. You know, ignorance in this endeavor is always costly in terms of what your learning experience is like. And when I caught out of Green River, the train was long enough that I couldn't see much of it. And there were domestic containers, and that's what I rode on. And it looked to me like this was a daily Z train, perhaps, but I couldn't see the back of the train. So as we got out of town a ways, there's an area where the tracks twist around quite a bit, and I could see the back of the train. And it was junk. This was a mostly junk train. So I'm not sure which train I got on for sure, but I think it was a train out of Oakland. And anyway, it was very low priority. So it was slow, and I got to Cheyenne, thought, you know, I should bail off of this thing and wait for a train where I can see exactly what it is. And instead of using my head and doing just that, I decided, well, you know, this is going okay. And I had good indication that the containers were headed to Chicago. So I decided, I'll just write it out. And not only that, when the train stopped in Cheyenne, it was, you know, night, middle of the night, and very cold, and I just wasn't highly motivated to bail. And it was right by the overpass. I forget the name of the street there, but anyway, it wasn't my favorite place to even catch out from. So anyway, long story short, I said hell with it. I'll take my chances in North Platte. So we roll into North Platte, and again I'm thinking, geez, maybe I should bail off this train because it stopped outside of the yard. But I dinked around a little too long, and the train started going before I could get all packed up. And I just wasn't in a rush, you know. So we rode on into the yard, and of course the train dropped off all that junk at the back of it. And I thought, good, maybe we'll pick some cars up and be on our way. Well, no, we weren't. I got dropped off in the van yard. And so I improved my ride, got a better ride, walked down the string of cars a little ways. And the way this usually works is another intermodal would roll through, pick up your string of cars, and away you'd go. So I waited it out. Almost 24 hours on that damn thing. Every string of containers left that yard but mine. What the hell what have I done, you know? And Terry's missing me, and I'm missing her, of course, and this is several days longer than I had planned at this point. And emotionally, I was just like bummed, you know? So I hung in there until the sun started coming up, and I knew if I waited past then, I'd have to be there maybe all day again, because that yard's huge and there's people everywhere, and your chances of getting spotted are pretty good, and it's got a good fence. I was gonna have to walk over a mile just to get to a road crossing area. So I said, hell with it. I can walk that walk at night, nobody will see me. And so I headed out, and as usual with train hopping, you know, the train gods began to smile on me. Maybe I made the right decision, but there's always a hole in the fence when you need it most. And so I scrambled through a little spot I could get under the fence, and get out off the property, so I was safe at least from having this turn into a real disaster. So I am waiting on a bus, and I'm going to go to Denver from North Platte, and I'm going to take Amtrak to Chicago so that I know I will be home tomorrow, which is what I promised Terry today when I talked to her on the phone. But anyway, you know, this is it's a tough business. You know, somebody with more experience would know, don't ever ride a container train that's got ocean going containers on it. They just are never high priority. Even if you've got domestic containers, when they're mixed in with that, it seems like everything falls to the priority of those ocean containers, which is like zero priority. And so, lesson learned, you know, be more careful. Make sure you can ID your train, which is getting harder nowadays, simply because they don't chatter on the radio anywhere near as much as they used to. This positive train control, I think, has made a difference there. But anyway, long story short, you know, once in a while, your choices burn you in this thing, and my ignorance, you know, costs me at times. I spent more time waiting on this train hop from Portland than I ever have on any hop. I swear to God. And normally I could leave out of Portland and be back in Wisconsin in a couple of days. You know, it's a brutal ride because you aren't taking any breaks. And I like to fish in Green River, which I did, and caught a nice rainbow trout. But, oh man, tough deal. I don't like giving up on rides, but I actually feel better that I'm out of that yard and looking to get home. You know, so be it. That's what happens when you don't have to be on the road and you do it by choice. You can also choose to not be on the road. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. Anyway, talk to you later.